All right, so today I'm going to be sharing with you one of the things, one of my meals that I intake. Just finished a good workout. If you're on my Instagram page, you would have seen what I prepared this morning in order to get me kind of carved up for a workout, but still kind of semi working out fasted. So other than that, let's roll the intro, start it up.
225, 225, 225, 25, 25, 225.
What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of That Guy Health, and today I'm going to share one of my meals with you after I work out, especially on the weekends. And today will be Saturday, so this is also my award meal day. So after I eat this, I will have my cookie dealer cookie, and I know you're probably saying a cookie, and these are half-pound cookies. What is up with that? I think a lot of people have a misconception of how nutrition actually works in reference to your work rate, your usage, your calories, your macros. So if you are having problems with that, you can go to my website, www.thatguyhealth.com. I do have a free caloric calculator for you to use if you want to try to find values or target goals for yourself, or you can reach out to me through there, purchase one of the plans. I'll get you started with meals, macro tracking, your workouts, your calendar, all of that above. But today we're going to get into what I'm doing, and this will basically be meal 2, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate some protein. So I got my eggs, and I'm going to keep that egg with yolk. I'm also going to add in my Colby Jack cheese, yes, a little fat. And then that's pretty much it, aside from what I will use for a little seasoning. And I'm going to use some pink Himalayan sea salt, and then I'm also going to spice it up with a little bit of organic smoked paprika. It's one of my favorites. My wife found it. We haven't been able to find it in a while, so she found that. And that is all that I will put in there. I'll use Pam cooking spray instead of butter to lubricate the pan so it doesn't stick. And I'll have my quarter cup, because I believe that these are measured in quarter cups. So I'll use a quarter cup. Now, a lot of times people will try to guesstimate. And if you're in a situation where your protocol is calling for numbers that you need to meet, you don't need to guesstimate. Now, if you're in like a build season, or you're not cutting, or you're not really trying to lose an extreme amount of weight, you're just trying to make sure you eat healthy, you already pretty much know, based off of you being pretty strict and sticking to certain guidelines, what this is and what that is, then you might not need these. But for the sake of this video and good practice, to where majority of people may be coming into this, we're going to use a quarter cup so we know exactly what we're getting. Oftentimes people will do peanut butter and they think they're putting a tablespoon in, and actually you probably put 4 tablespoons in. If you get an actual tablespoon measuring tool, put that peanut butter in there and shave off that top, you'll find that a tablespoon is not a lot, all right? So with that being said, we're also going to bring up my FitnessPal to put this in so you can see the values, and I'll post that up there as well on the screen so that you can see, as we put this in, what we're going to get before we start eating. And this is a habit and a practice that a lot of you need to get into, logging your meals so you can see exactly what you're intaking, so you know where you are before you go into what some people call intuitive eating. What are your intuitions based off of if you have no real experience with those foods, okay? It's not really intuitively, it's just kind of like blindly doing something. So right here, we're going to meal 2, around 9:30, it's 9:53. We'll add this in. So I'm gonna put 6 eggs. We're gonna do 6 whole eggs, all right? So I got right there, you already see 6 is up there on my menu, because I eat this pretty much. I eat pretty much the same thing all the time. And that's why I can afford to have an award meal like this on the weekends, because 6 days out of the week, I'm also eating very strict. Now, with that being in mind, it also, to me, matters where I put that award meal in, and we can talk about that in another video. So we're gonna put these 6 eggs in. I'm also gonna go down here, see if there's anything. Nope. So 6 eggs in. Now the cheese, I'll show you right now. We'll bring up the scan code. If you don't know exactly what you're putting in, you can bring up the scan code, bring the barcode in, boom, scan it. It says invalid code. So now what I will do is, you can actually go in here and put the code in manually to see if it comes up. And we'll put 02100005532, and that last digit does matter, and hit the check mark and see if anything comes up. And there it came up. All right, so the scan didn't work, but putting it in manually does, so there is no excuses. I also have a video to show you how to bring in recipes via a website. So right there, we're gonna do 1 serving size, which right there, they already got it marked 1/4 cup. I really don't bother putting the seasonings in because I don't use much, so I don't think you should, be as anal retentive. You can to put those in, so don't worry about that. Now, as you see right here, it's gonna give us and tell us that basically for this meal, we're looking at 470 calories. Right there, 1 carb, which is pretty good depending on what you're doing in your nutrition. And we're gonna save those carbs because we're gonna kick that award meal in and carbs are going there. 32 grams of fat and 42 grams of protein. That is what I like. I like to get on average 40 grams of protein, around that number in every meal. All right, for good muscle repair and MPS, muscle protein synthesis. So now that we got that and we see that's in there, now let's get to the good portion, which is cooking this food up. So I'll go ahead. I got the top because I am going to pretty much cook these sunny side up. So I'll put the top on to get a little heat over there. So we'll just spray this pan like so. That's all we need right there. Then let's crack our eggs. And for right now, I'll put the eggs in the top, and then I'll just dump them in the trash can. And this makes 6. All right, so 6 whole eggs right there. 6 whole eggs in there. Now I'm gonna bring you over a little closer so you can see the rest of the stuff I do. It's a little harder probably from there to see. All right, so now that I got this here, I'll go ahead and start the heat up, medium heat right there. I don't really mind that the salt might make it brittle, so I'll just sprinkle a little pink Himalayan salt like so. Then I'm gonna sprinkle some of my smoked paprika like so, right there. As this starts to whiten, which means the eggs are cooking, I'm gonna throw the top on, and then that will allow them to cook more over top, and then I'm gonna throw our cheese in. Gonna take our 1/4 cup, dig it in there, shake it off. All right, right there, I think that's good enough. And we'll just sprinkle this over the top like so. There we go. Put the top back on. As this is getting cooked, I will go ahead, get some of this. I need my spatula, get some of this cleaned up, put my seasonings back, get our cookie over here. That'll be later. Our cheese is done. Now, you might be tempted to reach back in here, but don't, okay? Because then it's gonna throw your numbers off. Then you're really not practicing any type of discipline. Don't be tempted. Do your 1/4 cup. That's more than enough. Put it back in there. All right, there you go. See it's getting there. See, now a lot of people will complain and say that, cooking takes too much time, but we probably have been at work for maybe like 10 minutes. Like, we probably haven't even been in for 10 minutes. And, well, probably for 10 minutes, giving talks, all that. But actually the process of cooking is probably not longer than 10 minutes, and we're gonna have a good solid meal that's gonna carry some nutrients and values into our day. Like I said, this is meal 2. Right about this time, I am dealing with some medical situations as far as the digestive system. So me and the wife and I are trying to find things that work here and work there, which I'm going to be working on a program to help people that are in my situation. Definitely, since I have the inside track being a certified personal trainer and fitness nutrition specialist, there are a lot of things that I can share with you all, actually having the experience, good and bad, through this entire disease that has decided to come into my life. But we're gonna try to turn it into something positive. My wife is very good about that. That's what she does. Life coach, practitioner, special Jedi master she is. And so I'm gonna take this information and this energy and try to use it to help other people that are in similar situations as myself to try to stay in shape, although you're having these adversities and these issues with the food and with your digestive system. And it's a hard thing to deal with, especially coming from somebody like me that's used to eating 7 times a day, solid meals, supplements. There's a lot of things that we have to come up off of. Now, and we're gonna get to that. So now that clock's ran, take a look. So now we're right here. You can see it's pretty much hardened up. We're gonna go ahead and turn that heat off and just let that sit up under the top for a little while longer. And then that'll help keep that heat in and cook it up. And we'll go ahead and put it on a plate. And once we get it on the plate, let it also sit for a little bit, and then we're eating. So heat's off, let that simmer, get it on the plate. All right, so here we go. Just kind of work around the edges. Some of that cheese might stick to the pan. Just get it nice, scoop it up, voila. There we go. 6 eggs with yolk, good omega-3s, good fats, good protein, cheese for some good flavor plus some fat, and some smoked paprika, little Himalayan pink salt for a little good flavor, and we're good. Doesn't have to be all like exotic. Like, it doesn't need to be all exotic. It needs to work, okay? And I try to tell a lot of people this. I know you all see people with meal plans that are very colorful, elaborate, a bunch of different meats, and a lot of that is good and great. But if you have not been accustomed to sticking to an actual meal plan, and now you go in trying to like buy all these meats, buy all these different colors, trying to make it very amusing, not only does it get expensive, but it also gets discouraging because that's something hard to keep up with. And if you have not been used to keeping up with a meal plan, logging your meals, cooking certain meals to certain specs, it can be overwhelming. So I like to first bring clients in to something very simple, something very basic that works. And then as they get that discipline and they start building that good habit, now I can allow you to like kind of free range, so to speak, and bring in different foods, different ingredients, because now you have built a structure and a habit that will allow you to check yourself within those environments. So without that being said, this is meal 2, good solid protein. You saw the numbers. Like I said, it is award meal day. Award yourself. Psychologically, it helps. Physically, it helps. Digestively, it also does help. I think eating too strict, too lean all the time is not always good. You got to throw a little change up in there, and plus that helps you adhere. If you go too long without awarding yourself somewhere, mentally you'll start like getting on yourself like, I want something, don't do it, I want something. The next day it carries over. Then when that final straw hits and the camel breaks, you're eating horrible for days on end, and that's building a habit. Whereas if you have a controlled implementation of an award meal at a certain time of day or a certain day, that is control, and then that relieves that mental anguish and stress of being on yourself, of any type of, munchies you might have or cravings you might have, and now you can adhere a little bit better. I found that also works better for my clients and myself. So with that being said, that's meal 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try that recipe out. Let me know how it works for you. Don't forget to head over to the website, www.thatguyhealth.com, and the Instagram, where I post tips and fitness videos as well. Peace. Be safe. Let's build together.